today we are going to be discussing no work experience yet. So, is study abroad really feasible for you? There are lots of people who seemingly don't have work experience, right? So, I'm going to categorize these people into two. These are people who truly do not have any work experience. Then the second set of people are people who they have work experience, but they think they do not have work experience. Where do you think you fall under? Of course, there are so many other people that have work experience, so this video may not be for you, but if you listen, perhaps you can grab something. All right, so we are looking at, if you don't have work experience, whether it's seemingly so or actually so, can you still relocate abroad? And the answer is yes. So let's start with people who truly do not have work experience. You just graduated, you have not worked anywhere, but you want to go for your master's abroad. Boom. Or you have even finished your master's and you want to go for a PhD, but you've not worked somewhere. Boom. Many people fear that they don't have work experience. So one thing I want to tell you is that most schools abroad do not make work experience compulsory for either master's or even for PhD or for postgraduate diploma for that matter. Right? Provided you're a graduate, that's usually the stumbling block you have to cross. Are you a graduate or you are not? Provided you're a graduate, you can apply to study abroad, you can get admission, you can get full scholarship. Yes, I said that. You can get full scholarship, you can relocate and continue with your master's, continue with your studies, and you can even end up working abroad once you start studying abroad, right? The misconception there is that people believe that, oh, I don't have work experience, so I cannot study abroad. Let me first get work experience. I want you to know that if you don't have work experience, still go ahead to start your study abroad plans. You can get admission without work experience. Now, the second set of people are people who think they don't have work experience, but they actually have work experience. This is where most of the people who tell me that they don't have work experience, this is where they fall under. Let's talk about Nigerians and Ghanaians. That one I'm very sure of. Other countries, you may be able to tell me if that thing is feasible in your country or not. All right? In Nigeria, there is something we call NYSC or National Service. In Ghana, there is something we call National Service. All right, which means a graduate gets to serve their country for 1 year, and usually the country will send you to a place to go there and work. Do you know that is work experience? Many people make the worst mistake. They will just say NYSC 1 year. This is what they have on their CV, and then they will say, "Oh, I don't have work experience." However, during NYSC or during National Service, you worked somewhere. What you really need to do is to tell us the name of the organization you worked, the roles you have to perform while you were doing it, and tell us from what time to what time you worked there. Boom. And you already have 1 year work experience, minimum. You will see that in a lot of the countries, right, graduates, fresh graduates get to be sent somewhere to work by their country. Most people who do this don't call it work. On their CV, it is written NYSC. It's written in National Service. And the problem is that if you are talking to somebody in your country, they will understand you. But if you are talking to somebody in Canada, such a thing does not exist. So they don't know what you are talking about. In US, such a thing does not exist. So they don't know what you are talking about. In UK, such a thing does not exist. So they don't know what you are talking about. Do you see? So it's a communication problem. You have work experience, but you're not communicating it right. So I want you to know that there are ways. Advantage migration, right? These are some of the things we teach you, but we even go further away. Work with you so that if you have questions, if you ask, okay, how can I position this? I did this. Can it serve as work? This, that, you can ask all of that question. We guide you exactly on how to do it. There are so many other things. I have just mentioned work experience. There are so many other things you should be putting on your CV that you probably don't know right now, and you have. That's the problem. You have it, but you don't know about them. This is why I'm asking you, start with our free webinar. After that, check your eligibility. Then execute with us, and let's guide you so that you can succeed. Okay? So if you've been worried, you don't have work experience, fear no more. Because people like you who do not have work experience, right? are getting admission, are getting scholarship, are getting study loan to relocate abroad and study and live there happily ever after, if they wish to do so. Others do and come home to their country willingly, not because they were forced to do so. Okay? So this will work for you. Work experience should not hinder you.